everyone, thanks so much for joining me. In this video we're going to do some seated hip openers, Firelog pose and things that relate to it. As with all seated positions, there's a challenge, potential challenge to hips, hamstrings, and spine. So you might want to have some props that you find helpful in any seated position, such as 1 or 2 firm blankets, a strap, a wall. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm just going to scooch on back. Okay, now before you begin, you do want to make sure that your hips are nice and open. I like to do this movement, just kind of checking in, hips, knees, and ankles. You might want to circle in the hip joint, and then just check in with the ankles. So we'll start with a single leg position and then test it out and see if we can do both legs in the same position simultaneously. So starting, just pick a leg, okay? Again, check in and have the foot flex, and then just see, will it go? And it should go somewhere above the knee, okay? So will it go there? Does it comply? What is it? How does it impact the body? All right, so again, you choose, okay, any prop that you find helpful. So I just want to find this position and notice a couple things. I want to sit tall, have the leg that's still extended be active, foot flexed, okay, both feet are flexed, drawing energy up. For some people, they are really uncomfortable here, just above the knees. They might put a little folded towel here just to add a little extra cushion, okay? And then trying to direct the knee down toward the ground, but not with any undue sensation in the hip joints, okay? So we're just exploring this. Now what's neat about this position, it can go several different ways. It can go into a seated hip opener like this, where you bend the other knee and exploring just the space in the hip joint sitting tall. This can be done laying down, okay? Figure 4 stretch, or something called thread the needle, okay? And I also really think about temple pose in this position, okay? So for this, potentially a forward fold. And throughout, I'm just noticing how I feel in my joints. Do I still have space in the ankles, knees, hips, length in the spine, space for the breath to flow? And that's really going to dictate where I go with the position. For me, I don't have a ton of sensory feedback, so I know that I'm going to be able to at least explore both shins stacked. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch legs, checking in, okay, making sure that it's similar enough on both sides that I think I could be consistent, okay, and still looking for this space. The extended leg in a single leg position, seated especially, the extended leg will want to check out and kind of let go of all muscular intention. So I have to really stay aware and then, explore. Okay, for this I'm going to stack the shins. Okay, so I'm just going to bend, and my body is just really compliant with this. You might find all kinds of challenges, and you really have to be honest with yourself. Is it wise? Do you get enough out of it? And there's no, risk of harm. There's no position that's worth that. Okay, so not risking any harm. I'm stacking the heel over the inner section of the knee here, and then the outer edge of the knee is either hovering above the heel, okay, but either way I have this gap, okay, between the legs. I have a triangle space here, and often I'll scooch even a little bit further away from the shins. Still both feet are flexed, length in the spine, sitting really tall, and then potentially hinging. One thing that I do very frequently is, as I hinge, and I'm still seeking that space in the joints, the length in the spine, to keep my muscles engaged and aware, I offer some counter resistance. Hands at feet, maybe hands, gently here. Just enough pressure to remind my body to give, some resistance. So as I press, my body also presses into, so my legs will press into my hands, or my feet will press into my hands, and then the evidence that I'm looking for is additional length in the spine, okay? And just breathing with it, carefully checking in between sides. It's a nice thing to do some sort of forward fold or seated position that feels more neutral, okay? And then switching which leg is on top, okay? A lot of the time, people in this position, they're sort of stuck here in a position that torques the ankle. I don't feel it in my knee, I feel it in my hip, okay? So you want to make sure that you're crossing, it's a slight crossing, okay, so that you can flex the feet and keep the ankles neutral. Okay, so again, really check in. I see a lot of different positions that sort of resemble. I can see where someone's really trying to get into Firelog, okay, almost at all costs to the hips, knees, ankles, and it is not worth it. You're just trying to get a hip opener, okay, with the length in the spine, and that is really a juicy experience, okay, when done well. So finding that right look to it to get the same sensory awareness, okay, that all the different bodies are seeking. It's just its external expression might look a bit different. And then when you release it, you should feel more open in the hips, more space and length in the spine, a sense of ease, okay? So a lot of different looks to it, single leg, both legs stacked. Maybe you find it more pleasant, more effective to lay down, right, in this option here, or staying upright, okay, with length in the spine. All of them for me feel related, okay? You're looking for the exact same stretch, basically. Anyway, I hope that this was helpful, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.